Good evening, everybody. I'm your host, TKB. We're firing it up a little different today, episode 47. Sorry, we're running a little bit behind, but me and Sleep, we're on absolute dad duty today. I'm sure many of you sport degenerate fathers can understand. But today we're going to get into all kinds of cool stuff. We're going to get into what's going on in the UFC with the Bam Bam beatdown this week. As always, Fantasy 5, giving you your top 5 fantasy pickups for this week and who's going to be playing the most fantasy games. We'll dial you in there. Touch on the Super Bowl. I don't think it's the two teams any of us wanted, but we're going to see the Chiefs going back, trying for the three-peat against the Philadelphia Eagles and Saquon Barkley, who put another beat down on their opponent. Jane Daniels played good today, but not good enough. And so we're going to see Eagles, Chiefs in the Super Bowl. We'll chat about that a little bit with my beautiful co-host, Trav, No Sleep. And, of course, little touch on X Games. That was awesome to watch this weekend. Knucklehook, all of it was so sweet. It was fun to take that all in. And at the end of the show, going to be joined by my buddy John, the absolute beauty. We're going to rip a pack of Bowman Chromes, not a pack, a whole box. We're going to rip this whole box at the end of the show, and we'll just have a good old time. So we'll see you there. We're going to get you dialed in for some fantasy tips and all your rips. We'll see you in a minute, folks.
Say, man, you're in a privileged position right now. You're in a place to be. Matter of fact, the place that you, with the one and only SNOOP. So what you gonna do now? Turn that shit up.
When are we making them beats again?
Trenches. Come get some work on your free time. Nico Texas, we train O-line and D-line. Getting sacks on quarterbacks, you know we live. When you kick at 45, keep your nose on his inside. You better punch some. Keep your feet moving, dog. My 3 tech and 1 tech, they some real hoes. My DN 6'5", he ain't got no flaws.
That's a Bushleague question.
Man, he got it all.
I understand. California, so it'd be cool for the family to come back to Canada. I always fuck all my American buddies. Like, hey, you guys never get out.
To the pro.
My whole summer. What do you do? This is way back home. You know, you supposed to be back at
You gotta spin. As you get around the edge, then you gotta bend. I'm in the trenches where the lineman at. I'm in the trenches where the lineman at.
When are we making them beats
I'm in the trenches where the lineman at. Where the lineman at. Where the lineman at. D tackle be your dance.
Let's go. I fired it up a little different. You didn't even know that was coming.
What's up, man, dude? That was a wild intro. I love at the end always. It's my favorite. Me busting my ass on that kickflip that one day. I mean, a lot of days I do that, but just perfect intro, man. I love it.
I love it. Well, no, stoked to have you here. I'm stoked to chat with you as always every week. It's always fun. And I got my camera a little different this week, so we're going to see if I'm able to actually stare at it and look at it all episode or not. But it's been fun. It's obviously been a solid week since we chatted. Everybody or anybody who tuned in, whether you're tuning in live or watching back, I guess if you're watching back on replay, not sorry to you, it doesn't affect you any. But if you're tuned in live, apologies. I was out in the coulee snowmobiling with my daughter today and enjoying the time with her. Trav was on dad duty, single. Well, not single. I'm single dad. He's solo dad duty tonight. And, we just fired up a little late, so I hope you guys could appreciate that. But we're going to fly through some of it. At the end of the show, my buddy John's going to join us, get into a couple pack rips, and that's going to be fun. But, yeah, it's been a good week. Like I said, I was just down in the coulee. I was going to set up some clips for the show. Didn't get to it, but took my daughter down there for the day and just went and fired up the fire in the shack, warmed it up, cooked some hamburgers, let her do some tobogganing, and I did some snowboarding down the coulee. She got in a couple runs, and it was fun.
That's cool. How big is the hill out there? Is that something that you can get some turns in, or is it just a straight down to a jump type thing?
We're like Saskatchewan, so there's it's pretty dead flat. So the coulee is like an old like river that used to run through kind of thing. So I would say height-wise, it's I don't know how tall it would really be, 50 feet, 60 feet, maybe 80 feet kind of thing. Like it's enough to, I can go, get some speed, or I could hit 1 or 2, jumps or do a couple ollies. But it's like pure ice right now. So we haven't had any snow in a couple weeks. We had a heat wave like a week and a half ago. About 2 weeks ago, we had literal rain. So like it was just pure ice. Because I was like, I'm going to full send and gap this one little drift. And it didn't pan out in the end. crash. But it's fun. It's good to take her out and learn and like get her to have a few little laps in without like going and paying these ridiculous prices at the mountains, which I can only imagine what everybody was paying out at X Games to get there this weekend, which we'll get to that a little later in the show. But yeah, it was fun. And I realized too, we always start with the intro. Some people come all the time. So I'm going to start just like explaining what we're doing every show, then firing the intros.
I like it. That's perfect, man. Kicking it off, letting everybody see that beautiful mug of yours and getting it going. So it was perfect.
Nice. Well, no, it was a good week. And you, any big coaching hockey wins or any good?
Oh, no wins this weekend. Went 0-2, 2 games this weekend, both pretty far away from me. Both one an hour and a half drive, the other an hour drive. Took the L in both, but watching the players progress this year has been really cool at this age where they're playing 8U here in the States or mites. I don't know if you still call it mite, mini mite, squirt, peewee in Canada, but so they're playing mites right now. And my son particularly, I felt just played really aggressively, and that's something that he struggles with. So man, I was flying high after both days just to see that little spark in his head start to click. So he goes with me to the rink every time I go. He's running around or skating on his rollerblades. So it's important to me. I grew up in a rink. My dad played adult when I was a kid. I used to run the scoreboard when I was probably 10 or 11 for the adult games, and just kind of taking him with me. We're a hockey family, and I'm really excited to kind of bring this love for the game to him. So it's cool.
Of all the people in Texas, I met probably one of the only hardcore hockey families. There's probably very few, right?
No, I don't know, man. It's getting big down here. It is getting big, but potentially.
Awesome. Well, should we get into it?
Oh man, we had a couple wild games today, one blowout and one nail biter down to the end. So yeah, I think we should jump in.
Well, yeah, we'll give our Super Bowl predictions on who we think's taking the big game.
Could have bought a lamb truck, but I bought another eight figures just came in. It just ain't no play, blah blah blah. Champ, you the great, ain't no way, blah blah blah.
Weekly.
NFTs and all my crypto is.
Well, this week it's easy, baby. We're only talking one game, so if we're wrong, it's all or nothing this week. Simple, easy peasy. But we got the Chiefs going up against the frickin' Eagles, the two teams that I think everybody would have rather seen Bills Commanders, most likely. I could be wrong, but I think that would have been cool to see them get their first franchise Super Bowl and etc. But
I got to stop you real quick.
Oh, stop me.
A record probably really good, record decent at best. I don't know. I sent you my picks before the games this week. I mean, I was 100%. I was 100% for this week's games. You were 50-50. That's probably decent at best, right?
Okay, that's fair. That intro doesn't change every week, though. You realize we don't have the capability to update it, so we just have to hope on it.
Oh, okay, fine. All right, then overall, yeah, I would say I'm probably decent at best. I'll accept that. Accept that.
There's no weekly update on that one, buddy, unless someone starts paying us.
For sure. Yeah,
awesome.
man.
Well, we'll get into who we think's going to win that in a little bit, but I mean, let's break down the games. Obviously, first game was Eagles Commanders. In the end, Eagles ran all over them. They made it close in the first half. I don't know if you got to see much of that at all today. I know, like I said, we were both pretty busy, didn't get to take in the games. But end of the first half, Jane Daniels made a couple good plays, got him close, got a field goal to go into the second half pretty tight, and they didn't do much in the second half as the Eagles ran all over them. Saquon Barkley, 3 touchdowns, over 100 yards. Just the guy's been an animal since leaving Daniel Jones and the Giants.
Yeah, ridiculous. I mean, that's why he's in the MVP discussions. That's why, he's just been doing so much since he went to Philly. It's so great to see. In my opinion, you almost felt bad for him in New York, and now he's in Philly just living large. But I mean, looking at even Jalen Hurts' numbers on the day, 20 for 28. I think he was about 250, 1 tutty. Those are solid numbers, and it's as solid as you need to be when you have a running back like Saquon punching the ball down.
Well, and it wasn't even just Saquon today either, right? Will Shipley, 4 carries, 77 yards, kind of out of nowhere, right? Jalen Hurts had 10, only for 16. But I mean, just wow, they ran all over him, over 200 yards rushing on the day, which is it's hard to win a football game when a team runs 200 yards on you. And A.J. Brown, almost 100 yards, 1 touchdown, Dallas Goedert, Devontae, like the whole team showed up, right? Everybody, even Devontae Smith, probably the worst outing of their top 4 at 46 yards. So it's an all-around. Eagles are coming in very strong. If there's a team that can beat the Chiefs, it's going to be them.
You know, the rushing was the difference maker. As you said, Eagles over 200 yards or around 200 yards. Jaden Daniels was the leading rusher for Washington with 46. So, you know, you're going to see a lot of games where Jaden Daniels is the leading rusher for sure, but the leading rusher with 46 yards, you know, that's, you know, and did Washington deserve to be there? Yeah, they deserve to be there. They won the divisional, right? They deserved to be there. However, they were 100% outclassed today by a more experienced Eagles team.
You can put Jaden Daniels in the headset all you want, but he can't stop Saquon Barkley, so it ain't gonna make a difference.
Maybe that's the move. Maybe that's the move. We got to throw
Jaden
Daniels in there at CB, at safety, something.
Or just
get him in there.
Put the whole defense in headsets trading against Saquon at like 0.175 speed. Like that'll be what every team's doing in the offseason.
That's what they're going
to do. Honestly, VR will probably become a big thing because Jaden Daniels has been impressive. And he kind of says that's his secret, right? He trains in VR at 1.5 or 1.75 speed, which is pretty interesting, which we'll get into that in another show. But Zach Ertz over 100 yards. He consistent for like a decade. Never ends. And then Terry McLaurin, 3 for 51. It's not bad, but basically ever since I've needed the guy to get me through the fantasy playoffs, he's disappeared. He's been like 100 yards for 16 weeks straight. And soon as me, you, everybody on the planet really, truly needs him, bye-bye. Scary Terry gone.
Yeah, it's tough, man. I don't know how many targets he had today. I didn't look up that stat, but you know, usually, as you said, Terry puts up points, except nearing the end of the season, and if he's going to stick around for a few more years, you know, Washington is gonna be in the race every year with Jaden Daniels under center. So a young team for sure. A young quarterback. This experience is going to be great, and I'm excited to see what they do moving forward for sure.
Yeah, no, it'll be interesting. And then on the other game, the afternoon game, I didn't get to see it yet, so I can't speak to the game. I got in a little late, but I can speak to the outcome and the last couple minutes that I watched. But Chiefs take it 32-29. What I do know, so like I said, I watched the last couple minutes. 2 minutes left. It's 4th and 5. Josh Allen runs back, has to throw a play. They kind of ran a pretty good blitz on him. Flag throwing. And I'm like, oh, like, here we go. Like, you know, Josh Allen's going to get his Mahomes moment. They decide there's no flag. If it was Mahomes, they'd have been like doubled down, gave 3 extra penalties and a first down for sure. They were just like, you know what? Actually, no penalty.
Oh, man.
Oh.
I'm not shocked. You're clearly not shocked. You know, that's just the name of the game right now. You know, the refs wear red.
I mean, they couldn't give Mahomes one this week because everybody was on him. So they're just like putting flags back in the pocket on the other. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. But nonetheless, I just would have loved to see the Bills go. I want to see Lamar or Josh win one. And I hate seeing Mahomes go over and over again because I don't know, man. Like, I just don't feel they deserve it. I mean, they get there every year, so I guess they do, but I don't feel they deserve it.
Yeah, I mean, you look at them barely beating the bottom of the barrel teams this year, but they do know when to turn it up, man. They won the game today, and we can sit here and bitch and whine all we want, but they're in the Super Bowl for the 3rd year in a row, and it is what it is. So,
yeah, Caitlin Clark and our girl there, Taylor Swift, get to come to another one in that press box.
So I know you were out today with your daughter, and I was out. I don't know if you happened to see that James Cook TD where he got hit and he was in the midair, and he, you know, just the way he twisted his spine and got the ball to the end zone, man. It was, you know, I know we talk about Bushleague Plays, but that was a baller play.
It was a pro play, yeah.
It was a pro. Like, I was trying to think of a way to Bush League it into something good. I couldn't think of it on that, so I said a good baller play.
James Cook played good all season. 85 yards, 2 touchdowns today. Josh Allen, another big one. Same thing, almost 230, 2 touchdowns. It's a big night for him. It just, the Chiefs find a way to get it done, man. And it's It is what it is, right? I really wish one of them would win some stuff. They just deserve it. They're so good. They're the two best quarterbacks in football, and they're both ending up at this exact same spot every year, and then it's ending. It's every year they get to the same spot, and it ends.
For the Chiefs, you got to be happy with Xavier Worthy and just all that he's done this season. He came up big today, had some huge plays, some ridiculous catches. So, the Chiefs too, as we think that maybe they're gonna be on the downhill trend as they get older, but they got this young stud that's the fastest guy I've ever seen in my life is out there tearing it up. So
and bring back, like, it's fun. It's cool to see him come full circle and be the guy. I mean, he's overtaken Isaiah Pacheco. He's an absolute stud. He never should have lost his job in Kansas in the first place, and absolute stud. And it's cool to see him back in another one with them. And Kansas just they pull guys out of their arse, right? Like Juju Smith-Schuster, what's he done all year? Nothing. Big night, 2 catches for 60 when they need it most. Hollywood Brown, where's he been? IR all year, 3 for 35 and making it happen. Travis Kelce, 2 for 19. You usually don't see a Chiefs win a tight game, and Kelce only get 19 yards. But here we are. But let's give our predictions, and then let's move on, baby.
Let's go.
Who you taking?
All right, man.
50-time champion.
I'm taking the Philadelphia Eagles, and I got 3 reasons for you on why I'm taking the Philadelphia Eagles. I got to check my notes. I wrote this down.
Yep.
Saquon.
Okay.
Saquon and Saquon. Those are the 3 reasons.
Oh, I like them.
That Philly's winning the Super Bowl. Saquon Barkley is going to run all over Kansas City as he did the Commanders and as he did to most teams this season. He's going to make Jalen Hurts' job a whole lot easier. AJ Brown's going to have another big night. It's off to the races for the Eagles. I'm fairly confident in this pick.
I love it. No, absolutely. I mean, I'm going to have to go against you. I'm going to go with the Chiefs. I would have loved to take the Bills. The Bills, as you know, were my pick ahead of the season. We were 1 game away from Bushleague Sports, first year on air, giving the predictions, getting it absolutely correct. But Mahomes does it. But I got 3 reasons for you as well as to how they're going to do it.
I'm ready.
Taylor Swift, Andy Reid, and can you guess the last one?
The refs.
You know it, baby. The absolute backbone of the organization, the Stripes. They are going to do it. A little bit of Taylor, maybe some Caitlin, Andy Reid, refs, mix it all up. You got a Super Bowl champion.
So I'll tell you what, we talk a lot of smack about Mahomes, primarily because of his preferential treatment by the refs. But Mahomes does some wild shit out there, and nobody ever talks smack about Andy Reid. Dude, I am so happy for Andy Reid. The guy is an absolutely legendary coach. He has done so much for several organizations, and it's just cool to see him continue to win. Andy Reid's doing his thing. I bet the Cowboys are like, man, how come we didn't get Andy Reid 5 years ago or 4 years ago, whenever it was? Man. Woo. Andy Reid's a legend for sure.
Well, we'll chat about it not in a week, but in 2 weeks. And also 2 weeks from now, we'll be live after the Super Bowl wraps up, Super Bowl Sunday. We're giving away all kinds of pack rips on Super Bowl Sunday. We're going to have, got the burps, the coffee burps, late night coffee. But we're going to be giving away some Panini contenders, all kinds of different packs. All you got to do is hop in the Discord, Bush League Media Discord. You can just enter the giveaway. 2 weeks from now, we're going to announce those winners on Saturday, and we're going to give away a whole bunch of packs. So you can join via Discord the next 2 weeks. Come hop in, Super Bowl Sunday. We will be live breaking down how the refs helped Mahomes win the Super Bowl.
Oh, man, I don't know about that, but I don't doubt it. I definitely don't doubt it. I'm excited to come back here with you, and I'm excited to prepare for the Super Bowl, dive in, do a little bit more research, and come in maybe with some takes next week.
Nice. Well, speaking of the refs and speaking of, Taylor Swift, I know we got a clip. We got some footage from live call during the Chiefs game a couple weeks ago. Just one of those Bush League plays. I think we want to maybe tune to that. Get the Bush League play of the week rolling. See what happens.
Run it, baby.
From the beef to the pros. From the beef to the
hands off.
pros. We get
That's
it
a
in.
Bush League question.
If you ain't watching film, you ain't trying to win.
Bush League Play of the Week.
Mahomes from the shotgun. Oh, he drops the ball. He's up. Forced out of the pocket. Scrambles to the right. Shimmy,
The
shimmy.
refs will help him out of
He's
this
shimmy.
somehow.
Shimmy. No, he's moving. He's moving. He's back to the middle. He's not.
Oh,
He
what was
slides.
that? There's the flag. I told you the refs were going to help him out of it. There's the flag. They're losing it. Furious on the field.
They didn't even hit him. They didn't even hit him. He slid. He half slid.
Well, I can only imagine what he's saying behind that mask.
Oh, my goodness.
Clay
I can't
Martin,
believe it.
let's
I
hear
can't
how he's
believe
going
it.
to bail him out.
Unnecessary roughness. Defense number 39. 15-yard penalty.
I mean,
Oh
I
my
don't
gosh.
see any contact to the head and neck here. I mean, let's go to Gene. What are your thoughts?
There's no forcible contact to the head neck area of him. The two Houston.
Look at all these fans in here. The WNBA.
None at all.
What
None at
you've
all.
done for the league girls is amazing. It's like what I've done for Patrick and Cassie here on the football field.
They're always
exactly.
doing-
We make the game great.
They're always queuing over to these two. I can't stand it. Jesus, when are we going to have enough?
How'd you get that audio?
Right on, right on. You said check my mic. It came in back of it, but is my mic working? It seems
Yeah,
like we have a live mic feed on the backside of the Chiefs game there.
No worries, no worries. Yeah, your mic is back. It got a little shaky earlier in the show, but we're back. I love it, dude. That was a killer clip, man. Great call. Was that Diener?
Yeah, I don't know who those announcers are. I think Diener and Terry. They're good though. They're kind of Canadian guys. Some other bald
Yeah,
guy.
the one guy, super handsome in the suit. I was shocked. I was shocked. Looked good.
But yeah, obviously you got a little live audio from the booth of Caitlin explaining how she brought the NBA from absolute shambles to a place that somehow Angel Reese hates to be at, even though she'll get paid more than ever because of her. Wow, that's just, as always, refs are helping him out. I mean, we got a live call. Ref's got his hands in his pants. He's so stacked up to see it. It never ends. So I think look at that prime example, earlier segment. The refs are going to help this guy every time.
Bush League Play of the Week. Phenomenal, man. Great work. Great work. It's Diener and Terry.
We'll see if we see some more from them boys out of the booth later in the future or not.
I'm sure we will.
Thanks. Well, again, stay tuned at the end of the show. We're going to be ripping some Bowman Chrome 2024. Thanks to my buddy John. And we'll get dialed in with him. He'll be hopping on in the stream here probably in, 20 minutes or so and get that ripped. Again, tune into the Discord. We got a giveaway going here in a couple weeks. And for now, we're going to get you guys dialed in on the Fantasy 5, who we think is the best fantasy players to pick up next week.
In the NHL.
Yes, NHL, baby. Well, let's go.
1, 2, 3, and take that ball.
Bush League Fantasy 5 helping you win some
I don't
more.
care. They got balls. And when you have balls on the biggest stage, you win championship football games.
That's another fantasy championship in the bag.
Let's go.
You love to see it. Oh, we got the wrong background clip on, but we can fix that in 5 seconds here at Bushleague Sports. We're going to get you dialed in on the best teams to lock in for next week. As always, Daily Face-Off, our go-to for giving you the top teams with the most games every week. You can never go wrong. Daily Face-Off, baby.
Yeah, I agree. So on this daily face-off here for fantasy hockey, what you're looking for is you're looking for those teams that are playing more than 2 to 3 games a week. You're looking for those teams that are playing 4 games a week. The thought behind this is the more games these players are playing, the more opportunities they're going to have to win those face-offs, to get those goals, those assists, more saves for the goalies, more block shots. So many opportunities. So staying dialed in on daily face-off when you are making your weekly drops and ads is key. It's critical. Shout out to Daily Face-Off for everything they do putting this together. It's not easy. I'll tell you what, Daily Face-Off keeps up to date with injuries. They keep up to date with trades. I mean, you can look at it, 20 minutes after a trade and they've already made the change. That just shout out to the boys, man. They're doing a great job.
Yeah, no, they keep me whooping everybody's arse in the Bush League, so I love to see it.
I'm struggling. It's my first year. We'll get there.
I haven't really been setting the lineups as consistently as I should be because I'm still kind of football focused, but I think I'm in 4th in the league. I'll get her turned up here the last couple weeks. I think playoffs start in a few weeks. But looking at her on the right here, Calgary, 4 games. We're going to rip through this in 3 more minutes. Detroit, 4 games. LA's looking juicy with 4 games, as always done on Saturday. A big one we like is if you can get those 4 or 5 games in before the Sunday, allows you to drop that player, get one more man game on Sunday, and target the exact stats you need on that Sunday to win your matchup. New York Islanders with 4, Philly with 4, playing Colorado at the end. We'll get into the big Colorado trade in a minute. And Calgary playing Seattle Kraken, who's also got 4 games, as well as Vancouver, 4 games. So those are kind of your go-to. And our top guys to pick this week, coming at you, number 5, Adam Henrique is our number 5 guy. Now, he's been hot lately. I can't promise that he's going to stay hot the next few. Obviously, filling in for Connor McDavid. Connor McDavid took that 3-game suspension for the old crossy in the lips. I mean, the suspension was deserved, in my opinion. Maybe not 3 games, but at the same time, it never should have got there. What were the refs doing, allowing the best player in the game to be tied up, pinned down, and putzed around with for literally 20 seconds before he got to the point where he just was like, okay, I guess I'll cross-check you in the face. Do your job. We want to see the best players in the game playing hockey. As much as I love Adam Henrique, I don't want him in my lineup. I want Connor McDavid in my lineup. And in order for that to happen, you got to we want them to play hockey, but when you're literally in the middle of the ice wrestling down the number 1 player in the league, you pull out the whistle and you blow it. That's what you do. And then it doesn't get there.
Connor has seen this his whole career. He's used to it. He's used to players hanging all over him, but I appreciate the fact that he's getting a little spicy. He's starting to fight back. He's not playing as one of those high, princess, I sit on my perch. Connor's getting greasy, man. And I'm not mad at the cross check at all. A little spicy chicken wing he threw a couple games before was pretty wild, but Connor's doing his thing, and I'm not mad at the 3 games. I think it should be 1 as well. But I'm not mad that Connor is getting back and fighting for himself, because that's what the Oilers need. That should motivate the Oilers. That should fire them up. My captain wants to win. We're going back to the cup. That's what they should want to see.
No, I love it. I love it. Number 4 pickup of the week. I did it in a different order, sorry, but we'll go to the top one. Braden Patchell, defenseman, Calgary Flames. Been hot the last 14 games. No goals, but 3 apples plus 3, 13 pims with only 3 shots, but getting you 16 hits, 13 blocks. My D-man, I want the guys getting the hits, getting the blocks, getting the pims. And if they're getting a couple points along the way too, awesome. I try to draft a team that is solid in the forwards, like we just discussed. You're trying to play into those extra man games to hit all these stats, but I want my D-man rock solid in those back stats. And he's been hot lately for Calgary, so he's my number 4 pick of the week.
In fantasy hockey, it's easy to lose your D-men. It's easy to cycle out of D-men and bring in more forwards, because you're just constantly thinking goals and assists, and that is not what you want to do, especially if you're in a scoring league that includes blocks and such, because those defense are racking those points up. So be mindful. I've caught myself twice this year where I've looked at my bench and I haven't had any D-men on my bench. I was starting all of my D-men. So that's not the way you want to play. Be mindful. Love the defense wins championships.
Love it. Love it. I'm just updating something on the back end for me and you here. 1 second.
Yeah, perfect. No worries.
And number 3 pick for us this week, Rasmus Ristolainen, another defenseman, Philadelphia. 1 goal, 1 apple, plus 4 pims. He's playing on the power play. And he actually ripping on shots, 12 shots, 11 hits, 16 blocks. So another guy that's just a stud D-man. And again, Calgary's getting 4 games this week. Philly's getting 4 games this week. So they've been hot and they're hitting the 4 games. It's hard not to have those guys looking to get in your lineup this week.
Yeah, you find those defense that are on the power play, they're going to have shots on goal, especially against teams that are penalized a lot. You're going to see a lot of shots on goal from D-men on the power play for sure.
Yep, absolutely. Our number 2 pickup of the week, Cam Talbot from the Detroit. You love to see him, Red Wings. The boys have been hot lately. Cam Talbot starting to play a lot more games, coming off a shutout just the other game. He's stopped 55 of his last 56 shots, .931 save percentage in the game before. They're again playing 4 games. They got a back-to-back. I guarantee we'll see Cam Talbot play at least 2 games, if not even 3 this week. So a hard guy not to stream as well.
Yeah,
This week.
Cam Talbot is their de facto starter now. I know he started off the year, I believe he was injured, and then he came back and had to work his way back to get that starting position. But you got to be happy for the dude, a veteran of the league. Cam Talbot deserves everything he's getting right now for sure.
Absolutely. And if you're just tuning in, before we give you number 1, end of the show, we're going to be ripping some Bowman Chrome Mega Box. Me, Trav, my buddy John, we'll get a ripping a little later after we talk some X Games. But our number 1 pickup of the week, on the tail end of a big trade, Ross Colton, center, left wing, Colorado. The reason I got him coming is they got Rantanen heading out. One of the biggest players in Colorado. Honestly, not a trade I expected to see. I would put like Rantanen, Landeskog, McKinnon. Obviously, Landeskog hasn't been playing. He's injured. But those guys, to me, are the top 3 players on that team. You would think maybe someone like Nichushkin would be on the move just because of the history with the team. But Rantanen's not who I expected to see in a big blockbuster trade. Carolina is. I mean, they're going all in. They just got 2 really good players.
Yeah. So looking at Mikko in Colorado, Mikko coming up in a contract year. Rumor has it Mikko was looking for something like 14, similar to Draisaitl. I mean, Mikko puts the puck in the net, so it's not, a shocking that he's looking for that much money. And Colorado just, didn't have the ability to pay it. And it's, there you go, Travis in the comments saying wanted too much moolah. And that's the game. That's a sport. As much as we all love to see it, and we hope our favorite players stay with our favorite teams, it is a business, and Mikko's trying to get paid, and he's gonna get paid. The wild thing about this trade was that Chicago, I believe they took half of his salary this year in the trade. So that was a 3-team trade between Carolina, Colorado, and Chicago. Chicago locked up half of Mikko's salary, which totally makes sense for them, in my opinion, because they don't have anything going on this year. It's just for the rest of this season. And it kind of opens them up in the future for making a big splash in the offseason. So what this means for me right now is that Colorado's got some money to play with before this trade deadline comes up, and I can't wait to see who they pick up. Man, Biz Nasty was going off on Twitter or on X the other day saying Crosby to Colorado. I said no way in hell is that ever going to happen, but it's funny and it's fun to speculate these things. So I'm excited to see what they do.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, so the full trade is Rantanen, Hall to Carolina. Colorado gets Drury, Necas, a 2nd in 2025, a 4th in 2026. And Chicago basically just picks up the scraps. They get a 3rd-round pick to absorb half of Rantanen's salary. And like you said, they're not going to. But if you're Connor Bedard, aren't you kind of going like, hey, wait a minute, are we going to try to do anything while I'm here? But also, he hasn't really lived up to his expectations either. I'm way more stoked on Macklin Celebrini as a rookie than I am on Connor Bedard, personally.
Yeah, Bedard's he's in a little bit of a sophomore slump. I still think he's performing. You got to have a team around you. And he doesn't have that yet. I do believe that if Chicago keeps drafting high and opens up this cap space, I do believe they can do something next year. So it'll be interesting to see how the offseason builds in Chicago.
Absolutely. And Trav, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you almost every week hanging out with us. I'm going to speak on behalf of John, perhaps, but if there's any Colorado Rocky MLB players in this box, and Trav and John doesn't want them, I'm going to ship them out to you with the next batch of stuff you win, because you seem to win all kinds of stuff, Trav. So we're going to lock you in. Appreciate it. But no, that obviously wrapped up the fantasy segment a minute ago. Just kind of went a little overtime talking about that trade. But it's a big shakeup, and yeah, it's good. We're getting close to that season. There's going to be a lot of big shakeups happening in the NHL over the next couple weeks up until that trade deadline, and fantasy playoffs will be firing up soon. So we're going to get you right dialed in on fantasy hockey through the next few weeks. Obviously, we really take a hard focus on football through the football season, a little bit of hockey to kind of get you going. Soon as football fantasy ends, big transition to hockey to make sure you're dialed for your lineups every week and through fantasy season. Then we'll have a lot of cool stuff coming up after that all wraps up.
Well, yeah, the NHL is about to hit the break for the 4 nations. Oh, we have a Tops.
My buddy
Chrome
John,
update.
he must see the degenerate ripper like me. He is. He must have another box on the other side of the camera waiting. And so, John, we'll probably be ripping in 10. So hop in the stage, and I'll pull you up here once we're ready. We're going to get into a little bit of X Games chat in a bit, and whatever else.
Love it, man. Love it. And yeah, I'm stoked for the 4 nations: Sweden, Finland, US, and Canada. It's going to be a barn burner, man. It's going to be fun.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, it's time for we're getting near the end, but one of our, again, fast show that today. We started a little late, and then me and Trav got some stuff to film to keep you guys entertained in the future. But we only got a couple more segments to go, so we're gonna fly through them here.
Say, man, you know the best part of waking up is not giving a fuck? Well, you do not. Big Snoop DAWG, Death Row mixtape, and this is for you.
Shouts to our pal Joel over at Bam Bam's Fitness and Bam Bam's Boxing for being obviously one of the greatest sponsors of the show and some of the best online workouts in the ever universe. But yeah, no, big time shouts to him for doing that. And this week, basically, I would call him some beatdowns. In the UFC last week, we had Merab taking on Umar in the title, right? And we'll get into that in a second. That was a big beatdown. But in the co-main, Merab and Umar, and then in the title, Islam Makhachev over Ronaldo Moicano. But in that co-main event, Merab, I mean, honestly, utter domination. I mean, that's why if anything fits the Bam Bam beatdown, it isn't just fights. It's the way he utterly dominated Umar throughout that fight. It was quite interesting. I know after the third round, I was watching it, and Khabib
Nurmagomedov.
Can't spit her out right now.
Yeah.
But he's in his corner. But I think it was end of the third round, or maybe it was the second round going into the third. He said, okay, no more striking. We only wrestle now. Like, you're going to just wrestle. And they went through the whole third. I don't even think he attempted a takedown. And so I was like, kind of sitting there going like, man, I mean, Khabib's going to be mad at you. Like, this guy's the legend. He's in your corner telling you to wrestle, and you didn't even make an attempt to wrestle that whole round. And then Merab just dominated him the next 2 rounds. And I look at it going, Khabib knew what he was talking about. Like, he probably should have tried to get that advantage from him, but he didn't. Got his ass whooped a couple more minutes and didn't have the energy to take Merab down in the 4th and 5th. And he just utterly dominated him and cruised to a victory. The guy's he's been dominant to watch.
Yeah, Khabib's the GOAT for a reason. You know, you're his cousin. You should probably be listening to him. Umar's trying to do it on his own. When you got a team behind you, got to stick with the team for sure. Just like, as you said, gassed himself out and was unable to get anything done. Maybe just trying to show that he had stand up. I'm not really sure. I do know that Reddit, I was in Reddit a little bit earlier today, and Reddit's going off. Has anybody seen Umar since the title fight? You know, what did Khabib do in the hotel room after it was all said and done?
Yeah, well, I mean, he did listen to him, right? So that's kind of interesting.
I want to say Merab is Merab. He's one of the greatest, man. He is an absolute beast. He is going to be a problem for a while. You know, yeah. I don't know who's going to knock him off. O'Malley's not going to come in and knock him off. He says O'Malley was a tough fight. No way O'Malley comes in and does anything. In my opinion, O'Malley's just not to the level of these, Merab's Georgian. But these fighters from overseas, it is what it is, especially at these lighter weight classes. It's going to be a tough go.
Yeah, no, and he can just run for like 30 minutes. He just brings the pace nonstop. An absolute animal. And then the title win, Islam Makhachev. Actually, before I get title win, one last thing too. So at the end of the fight, Khabib, he's there like beside Dana. They're going to announce who the fight wins. Like, it's clear Merab won that fight. There's no human on earth who would have considered Umar would have won that fight. Absolutely not. And Khabib's there like waiting to take the belt from Dana to put it on Umar, and then is like, oh, for a second when Umar didn't get announced as win. And I'm like, what are you doing, bro? Didn't you just see your guy get dummied for like 3 or 4 rounds? I mean, come on, bro. But yeah, and then Islam over Renato Moicano. you just cannot beat that guy. He is utter domination. There's a reason. I think he got Submission of the Year award from last year. Just pure dominance. I don't know if anybody will beat him.
Moicano was the last minute, stand in for that fight. And, hats off to Moicano, just a legend of the game, been around a long time. So really cool to see him, shoot his shot. Unfortunately, it ended in a first round submission loss, but he stepped up, he got in there with arguably the best in the world today. So shout out to him. I'm bummed the fight with Arman. I did really want to see. I think that's a fight that we'll probably see in June. I hope, I say June, giving Makhachev a little break, and I don't know why. I don't recall why he. I probably should have looked since we host a sports show. I probably should have looked into why he pulled out of the fight. But I can't wait for that fight. Arman versus Islam. It'll be a good one.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And Arman's coming off wins against Charles Oliveira, split decision, coming off wins against Benelli Dariush, who is a beast in his own right. So that's primed to be a good fight when it happens.
Absolutely. Well, and other than that, just UFC kicking it off hard as always. That's another great year. I kind of get sad when they wrap up for Christmas every year and shut it down for a couple weeks. So good to see him come out of the gate with a few big ones. And then also tune in. I think every Friday Dana's doing a pack rip too nowadays. So everybody's in on the pack rips, but he's always pulling some UFC heat too.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Yeah, I don't catch those. I need to check it out.
Oh, well, I think it's time before we get into our pack rip, a little bit of Shredder of the Week, a little discussion on some X Games. See what we got going on there.
Yeah, let's go.
We don't got a segment for that one yet, so we just
no worries, man. Yeah, dude, X Games Aspen. I was talking to my buddy Keith Gable, Thrash Talk podcast host, lives in Aspen. He says, if you're in Aspen for X Games, you're either hunkered down in your house or you are out there having a blast with all the people, because the whole world descends on Aspen for X Games, and the events have really took off, man. We saw two huge tricks in both male ski big air and male snowboard big air, two 1340s. Absolutely crazy. Italian skier Miro Tanabanelli and Japanese snowboarder Hiroto Ogiwara. Just these guys spin for days. It doesn't even make sense to me. 2340. Geez, TKB, man, I cannot speak today.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're stuttering around a bit.
Yeah,
I'm
losing it, man. 2340. It's like 6 rotations. It doesn't even make sense. They got to get sick. I don't see how they can even spot their landing when they do that. But it happened twice in 2 different disciplines in the big air, male ski and male snowboard. Absolutely crazy. You just can't even believe it.
Yeah, no, it was nuts. Like, I mean, he just took off and was just like a helicopter, just, and people were like, oh, like, we don't want to see that in the game. We want to see some stuff. He landed it cleaner than I'd land a 180. It was actually insane how clean he landed it. I was like, oh my God, like, how are these kids doing this stuff? It's nuts.
For me, it's the ability to spot your landing is what I don't understand. The ability to spot your landing spinning that many times is absolutely wild. Yeah, if it was inverted, for sure, even crazier, but still, based on where you grab the board, these young riders, man, they can really figure out a way to really launch themselves into a spin. But still, that's just something that is absolutely unheard of. So the X Games really were something special this year. I know that you dialed in on Knucklehuck. What were your takeaways from Knucklehuck?
Well, I mean, that event is so sick. It's such a sweet addition. I think it's like the 5th or 6th year they've been doing that at X Games. And Zeb Powell obviously was a pretty big factor in that for quite a few years. He came up. His very last trick was absolutely sick. So he did kind of like he had someone set up sitting backward, like with their snowboard like this at the end of the jump. I was expecting him to ride off it or do something cool, but he did kind of like a corkscrew, like rodeo hand plant off. And it was sick. Like if he would have done a couple more things, he probably would have podiumed. I think he ended 4th, but just crazy to see the stuff they're doing and the speed they're taking into it and the hacking on, like crazy stuff off it. The young Asian fella, 3, like, I don't know if you see, but like the 3 front flip tame dog, he came towards the knuckle, front flip. I don't even know how he like perfectly double like nose tap, tail tap, and then double front flipped again. It was crazy. Like it's never been done before. And I think he also came off the knuckle and did like a 1440. It was crazy. And he ended up taking home the gold. There was quite a few other big dogs playing there as well. It was pretty sweet to see. And we're going to get into a pack rip in a second here with our buddy John.
The Japanese have really stepped it up and have really started to kind of make their claim on snowboarding, both male and female. Any pipe event that you watch now, you're going to see the Japanese just own the top 10. They're going to have 3 or 4, maybe 5 riders in the top 10. Just the amount of effort they're putting into snowboarding is impressive. And like you said, those guys can spin, those guys can flip. It is so impressive. Hero hitting that 23, 40. Phew. It's really cool to watch.
Well, and Patrick Hoffman, I think he was last year's champ. He was unreal to watch as well. He was doing some crazy stuff. Like if Zhang Wang wasn't doing the absolute nut stuff that he was doing, he would have taken it at home too as well.
Big shout out to Nick Gepper on winning his first X Games super pipe for ski. Nick Gepper, a legendary slopestyle skier, not slopestyle. I'm gonna stop for a sec, TKB. I'm starting to lose my wits here. Let's get to some pack rips. Shout out to Nick for winning the super pipe, man. Absolutely killing it.
I say you just had a long day, buddy. You had a long day. The Bushleague though, we're allowed to stutter, right? We're all about here, Bushleague. We ain't supposed to be pro. We're just a couple dads trying to dial her in at the end of the day. Of course, we're gonna stutter. Kids been draining us. We've been trying to be good dads all day.
Yeah, dude, I'm a human taxi driver on the weekends, but I don't get paid for it. I wish I did. I don't get paid for it. I drive my kids around everywhere, and it's great, man. I love going to their sporting events. Love dropping them off with their friends. As long as they're having a good time, I'm having a good time.
I love it. Well, I'm going to bring my buddy John up. It's hard for me to look at the camera and the thing here, but John, stoked to have you today, and we'll see if the camera goes where it needs. Oh, amazing.
What's going on?
If you're able to turn the camera sideways, feel free. If not, you'll just get the black. It's all good.
Like
but
this?
It should fill it out. Yeah, you'll fill out nice. There you go. See, we know a couple things at Bushleague Sports, but John, love to have you. Obviously, my buddy John, Absolute Beauty, works for Matinee Clothing, has a couple other businesses on the line. I don't know if you want to tell a few things about yourself, but John's a good buddy of mine. We met many years ago through Ellis Mania, Ellis Fam, and just stoked to have you here. Stoked to rip a box of some Bowman Chromes. Baby, we found them for you, buddy. Let's go.
Got some Topps Chrome update too.
Nice. We're going to double down to it. Also, everybody's going to get in on some rips. I know my buddy Trav was listening in. I told him on your behalf, if we had any Colorado Rockies, he's a big Colorado guy. He tunes into the show all the time. We'd maybe give him some of the cards. I don't know.
Dude, if we rip any Rockies on this box too, I'm totally cool with sending it. Also, I'm chasing obviously the Dodgers right now. The 2 big players are Shohei and Yamamoto. So chasing some of these guys right now.
Nice.
And anything else, is potentially up for grabs for whoever's watching right now.
Nice. And where are you coming at us from, John?
Vancouver, BC right now.
Nice. Love it. Obviously, me and you just got to throw down a hug a couple of days ago when you were on tour in Western Canada doing your couple annual drives. So I was stoked to get to hang out with you for a few minutes. And it's cool. It's always fun.
Yeah, July I'll be back out, so I'll actually spend the night, and hopefully we can time it up with one of these shows again.
Yeah, no, it's sick. But no, I know you're like, I went and looked. I couldn't find no Bowman Chrome. I'm like, I know there is because I bought a couple, and I know there's one in there somewhere. And so I went and found her for you.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I appreciate that. I did not go back, but I thought I had looked at everything close enough. Apparently I didn't, but it was faith. It was meant to be. So I appreciate you going back there and taking a look.
I didn't bring a knife, so we're gonna just have to rip it with something else.
So, John, I got a question for you. If you're not a huge card guy and you want to get into cards, what brands do you want to look for, especially on the baseball side? And what's the value? What maybe do you not want to look for? If I pull a card that's from this brand, it's not going to be worth as much versus pulling a card from this brand.
And John will know more about.
That's a really good question. Sorry, go ahead.
No. Sorry, I interrupted. I was just going to say, John will know more about baseball cards than I will. I'm pretty dialed in on hockey and football, but that's why I love having John here because he's pretty dialed in on baseball.
Yeah, hockey. Obviously, hockey is Upper Deck that has the license, the main license for it. So that's who does hockey. And then for basketball and football, you're looking at Panini, who's been doing cards for a long time. For baseball, Topps is the official licensee. So any Topps product is the way to go, in my opinion. Panini does do Prism and Donruss baseball. I think they also do Mosaic baseball, but they can only advertise the city and no logos. So those cards are definitely not as appreciated by the collecting community. That being said, if you have like a 1-of-1 Prism or something with an autograph rookie, it might not be as expensive on eBay as a Topps, but it'll be, it's a great card to have regardless. Myself, I prefer the Topps because you could go with the logos.
Dude, I love it. Thanks for that take, man. I wrote it all down, by the way. I was like, okay, Upper Deck, hockey, Panini, basketball, football, Topps, baseball. Got it down. I'm heading to the card shop. Let's go.
Where's our
if you're, sorry to interrupt, if you're able to find some at Walmart or like at Toys R Us or GameStop, like those are going to be your most affordable boxes because they're at retail price. Whenever you go to a card shop, there's always their own markup on the product. That being said, they usually have hobby product, which you have more chances for autographs and stuff like that. And the bigger cards are usually found in those kinds of boxes. So there's a lot of things to weigh in. If you're trying to go in on the more affordable side, I would say like the entry-level product from Walmart is great. Otherwise, if you're really trying to chase those big cards, I myself am a big fan of any Topps product that's a Chrome product. So the Topps Chrome or like TKB has the Bowman Chrome. Those are the two main lines from Topps for baseball. So in my opinion, they're the most desirable ones.
Awesome. And we're going to be doing a draft later in the year too, as well, where people will be able to enter, do a fantasy baseball league for the year and get themselves a pack rip from one of these Bowman Chrome mega boxes. Obviously, when you're going retail, your blaster, obviously your packs are kind of lowest tier. Your blaster boxes are, again, probably kind of your lower tier. You're less likely to get a big hit out of it. When you do, it's sweet as heck. And then these mega boxes like the one we're opening here, that's kind of your, I would say almost your in between your retail blaster boxes and then going to get a hobby box from a sports store. Mega box to me is kind of like that middle. You get a little better chance at some stuff through retail, but you're not paying that huge price yet either.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I did rip some really good ones. I went like a D-Gen last week in Edmonton, and I ripped 5 of these. So this was the last one. I told Ty, he was like, can you please keep some for the show? I was like, dude, I'll keep one. But that's asking me a lot. Like, it's been fucking looking at me. Sorry, it's been looking at me for like.
Oh no, you can curse on the Bushleague network.
Okay. Oh yeah, I guess it's Bushleague, right? So you can curse. But yeah, no, like it took everything in all the power within me to save this box for tonight. So even today, I was like.
So looking at this Bowman Chrome Mega Box, what I'm seeing 7 packs. 2 of them are looking like they're a 5-card exclusive Mega Card Chrome packs. So are we saving those for the end, or those?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. So those are going to be some really cool parallels. I actually pulled an Ellie De La Cruz and a Paul Skeens last week from some Topps Chrome like that, or some Bowman Chrome like that. Yeah.
Nice. Well, I would say if anyone's watching or tuning in, feel free to comment. Tell us your favorite baseball team in the comments on YouTube, and maybe we'll send you out some cards after the show.
I'm ripping this right now too.
I'm going to start ripping. I'm going to start going it, baby. Sleepy, how's the cameras working for me with my phone and cup and this in there? Is it annoying? Is it good?
Not at all, man. Not at all. It's perfect. It's easy.
All right. Well, there's pack number 1. Let's see what we get. I'm gonna put some art behind me back there, and then we'll have a whole little thing going on here. So these cards are. It's crazy how bent they are when I pick them up.
The Chrome cards have that. They usually get pretty bent up. Yeah, they're pretty bendo. That's why the top loaders with the penny sleeves always important. Some people just put them straight in top loaders. Don't. Please protect your cards with the penny sleeves. But that's why these will actually straighten them out quite a bit. I have some right now that are in these waiting.
Oh, look at that one, baby!
What you got? You got a Shohei? Fuck yeah, that's
Shohei,
awesome.
first pack, let's go!
That's sweet. Let's go, baby. That's sick. Oh, I have a little bit of. Looks like a bit of. No, maybe not.
We're gonna get that one in a sleeve right away as we go.
Yeah, I'm also getting some penny sleeves ready along with some top loaders. Wow, you got a Shohei right off the bat, eh?
Yeah,
the DJ in me wants to rip this, but also wants to look at you. So I'm torn between what I'm doing right now.
Oh, I don't know. This thing's not opening that well.
You got an Austin Martin rookie debut. Yeah, if anybody like what your team is the Twins rookie debut card. Got a Christian Encarnacion.
I don't know why it's not going in there that well. We're going to do that after because I don't want to wreck it. It's not going in that easy.
Yeah, these are pretty nice, actually. There's a Santiago Espinal X-Fractor. Reds.
Nice.
Wrong Reds. You're looking for Ellie De La Cruz right now.
Ooh, this pack looks less bent, so that's nice. Got a Padres at the back. Nolan Sancho. Christian Yelich.
Hey, John, as you're going through these, man, what's your take on Verlander to the Giants, being a Dodgers fan and the Giants picking up the 100-year-old in Verlander coming out and joining the rotation?
Well, obviously, tons of respect for Verlander.
Legend.
He was a stud for sure at one point in his career. I mean, honestly, it is a really good time to be a Dodgers fan after this World Series. I just placed a futures bet for the Dodgers to win this year, and it was like $20 to win 90, which is like some of the lowest possible odds for a future like that. So yeah, they did so many pickups this summer so far. From Blake Snell to re-signing Teoscar Hernandez. They got Nolan Arenado. Just picked up the biggest rookie prospect from Japan, Roki Sasaki. So they're getting stacked. Just signed Tanner Scott last week. Signed the first Sudanese player ever this week too. So yeah, it's a good time to be a Dodgers fan. I honestly, the Giants wants to bring in Verlander.
Yeah, well, they lost Snell. They lost Snell to the Dodgers, so they're looking to recover with Verlander. But like you said, Verlander's a legend, and glad that he's still doing his thing. And Kate Upton's going to have some fun in San Francisco, I'm guessing.
Oh yeah, they're going to sell a lot of jerseys. That's for sure.
Nice Bryce Harper.
Little Bryce Harper pull.
Oh, there you go.
Jason Dominguez.
That's another good one. Jason Dominguez, you should put that in a top loader. He's like the New York stud this year.
And Harper probably should be a stud keep. Curtis Mead, Colt Keith, and Austin Riley.
Dude, I'd love to get my son into cards. When I was not when I was his age. My son's 7 right now, but when I was 11, 12, dude, I was all about it. All about it. My buddies, we used to trade and we collect series, and it was.
Is that another Dominguez?
Hello, Aaron
Judge.
Jackson.
Oh, Aaron Judge. There you go.
You got all the big dogs. You got the World Series all in one, Shohei and Judge.
Yeah. Yeah, you said it, collecting cards back when we were kids, that was it. So yeah, I think if you could get kids into it, it's
Ooh, there's a Colorado Rockies.
Well, it's coming back, you know what I mean?
Watching.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We got a little Jackson Merrill insert.
Ellie De La Cruz and Luis Robert Jr.
TK.
Oh, you got an Ellie De La Cruz?
Yep.
Please put that in a top sleeve. I'll definitely take that. Please and thank you.
Done deal.
Definitely like Ellie, Churio, Skeens, and then the big ones are Yamamoto and Shohei, obviously.
You get any good pulls on your end over there?
First one I put on a top sleeve is a Jackson Merrill rookie insert.
Nice.
It's like a 1989 rookie insert.
Well, we're gonna open one of the exclusive 5-card foils.
Boys,
I got a Pirates.
Do you the Skeens or no?
No, wrong pirate. It's a Aroldis Chapman, but it's an X Fractor. So I was like, oh man, that would be super cool. I just pulled a Skeens X Fractor last week. But
Ooh, there's something in here in the middle.
Move it to the back. Move it to the back.
Good call. Good call.
You guys are gonna make me a DGen, man. Like, I'm getting all fired up watching this.
Dude, I'm a full-on DGen with these baseball cards.
And everybody who's watching, obviously, we got the new Bushleague Sports site coming later in the year. You'll be able to enter drafts, enter rips, buy collectibles, all kinds of fun stuff. So it'll become easy to become hooked on our sleep.
Easy to become another DGen. I really needed something else to spend
That's a
money.
beauty right there, Edward Encarnacion.
Nice.
These are the exclusives. We got Ronnie Mauricio.
I love these cards. They're so nice.
We got Eri Dahigo. Eduardo Herrera. And what's this last card? What do we got? Oakland A's.
Is that red? It is red. Pink.
Zach Gila.
And it's numbered?
A rookie card numbered 198 of 199.
Nice. Those are always fun to get.
Zach Geoff. There's Zach Geloffs.
That's cool.
Nice.
I got an Orioles refractor right now, hoping for a Jackson Holiday. It is not. It's a Jordan Westburg. I have quite a few of these. Man, we're going to be giving out a lot of cards. Definitely, if you have a baseball team that you would like to get cards of, we will send these to you. Because
so far we only got one.
A whole lot for me to
so far we just got Trav with the Rockies. Otherwise, they're all yours, buddy. All right, Braylon Brazaban of the Pirates. It's not the pirate we're chasing. Looks like there's one card, two. I don't know what's going on. There's a few different things at the back there. So we're gonna wait.
Fuck. I just saw the back card and there's the Skeens. So I think I got a Skeens refractor.
Nice. That'll be sick.
Silver. Yeah, it's just a regular.
Arjon Nimala?
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 Is that what that says?
You got a Juan Soto.
Nice. We're pulling all kinds of stuff tonight on the Bushleague Sports Show.
There's Jung-Hoo Lee.
Thaylor Lorenzen.
And here's the Skeens refractor.
So, what is the value of that card, would you say? Is it a $20 card? Is it
a rookie debut? So, it's a rookie debut. Actually, you know what? We can look that up right now. I like going to eBay to look it up. The rookie debuts are not as desirable as the actual rookie cards.
What's this?
Let's check it out now.
My first Bowman. What's this going to be?
All right, I'm ready.
Jordan Lawler holding his own card, a rookie card of him holding his own rookie card.
Oh, yeah, those are good inserts for sure.
No numbers on it. That's cool.
Chrome.
Here we go. My first Bowman. So, looks like some of our nice pulls are Zach Geloff numbered.
So to answer your question, like this card right now, the rookie debut is probably about, as a refractor, it's probably about like 10 Canadian dollars.
We're rich, baby.
If it was a regular rookie debut, probably about 50 to 20. And then if you get them graded, they're a lot more. So for example, this Yoshinobu Yamamoto rookie PSA 10 was about, I think, $250. But regular would probably be about like $50 card. So it does considerably bring the price up. I actually have a card right now with PSA, and I'm awaiting for its return, and quite anxious to see what the grade is going to be. I'm hoping to get a 10 because if it's just even a 9, it changes drastically the price. It goes down.
What is the cost of having cards graded?
So if you do like a regular bulk, you could do like 10. It's like 10 cards per time, and it's $350 for like to grade all 10 of them, and that means that they'll grade them. They'll put it in their system. They'll put it in, these plastic cases and identify it, and they'll send those back to you. So it ends up being about $35 a card. The card that I submitted, which was my first submission, was a Yoshinobu Yamamoto rookie gold auto to 50. So it's a $725 card.
Jeez.
That grading is going to be about $80 US, so about 120 Canadian dollars, something like that. $115. The turnaround should be a bit faster. And if it is a 10, then it goes from a $750 card or $725 card to like a $4,000 to $5,000 card.
That's wild.
So, I'm really, really keeping my fingers crossed to get a 10 back.
So the cards that you're showing me right now that are already graded, you bought them graded. You did not have them graded yourself. Is that correct?
Exactly. So these, this Yamamoto PSA 10, I bought off eBay. This Shohei rookie refractor was a BGS Beckett grading service for 9.5. I also bought on eBay, so they were already graded. This one, there's like literally only 13 in the world with a better grade in the system, which is like one of the reasons why I went with this one instead of the PSA version.
I don't know how long we're running this today, but I have so many questions.
Dude.
Go ahead. Ask away.
I can keep going. Okay, so eBay, there's a lot of scammers on eBay. So you kind of, I'm sure that this is probably a big area for scammers. So what are the sellers that you trust? How do you determine if the seller is a seller to trust when looking at these cards?
Yeah, for eBay, I'm part of this group on Facebook. It's like the MLB card group on Facebook. And you always see dudes getting scammed on there because they're either not reading the listing properly, or they're not doing their due diligence and literally just buying you have for example, like an Aaron Judge rookie card. And they'll say and it's a raw card or something, but they'll just look at a card and they're like, oh man, that is such an undervalued card. I don't know why this seller is selling this for so cheap. But if it's a card with a massive defect on it, or if the seller's trying to scam you, then yeah, it's definitely you're paying for nothing essentially. The best way to counteract this, I would say, is going with reputable sellers. So for me, I will only buy from sellers that have well over 500 reviews and feedback. Their feedback has to be 99% or higher. If they do have not 100% feedback, I will usually look at their feedback, the negative ones, to see. And then another way to do it is if you're on eBay, like PSA, the company that does this grading, they actually have cards that they're selling on eBay. So if you're buying from a reputable, seller like PSA or Topps or, Panini or something, some of the big breakers also have their own. Well, most of the big breakers have their own eBay sellers account. So if you go through the breakers site and you find their eBay page, is a good way to not get screwed over.
No, I love it, man. Thanks for the insights. Seriously, I'm hooked ever since Tyrone's been ripping these cards. It's been a lot of fun, and obviously, initial thought when I see him pull a Skeens holiday pack. I'm like, well, what's that worth? You know, this guy's going to be a stud for years to come. I'm sure it's only a couple years till he's either in LA or New York. So it's coming. It's coming.
Yeah, if he doesn't get Tommy John surgery before, he might end up in LA.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Well, yeah, and obviously, John, thank you so much for all the insight and info on the cards and getting people dialed in a little more on how to do the grading and giving us these packs and this fun night of rip. We're just going to rip 1 or 2 packs today, and we called her up last minute. You're like, you text me, you're like, I'm fiending, I need to rip some packs, and I'm like, well, tonight's the night if you want. We can switch it up. We had no, we didn't run a contest, we didn't have a winner, we weren't committed to nothing, so this worked out awesome. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was a good time for sure. I love ripping cards. You know, I do rip the cards to have a good time and to kind of just bring me back to when I was a kid. But the reality of it is if you're collecting and you want to collect for your personal collection, I would say the best thing to do is to buy your own cards, buy the individual cards themselves, either off of eBay or reputable groups on Facebook or whatnot. And then, yeah, they're you know, the hobby can get really expensive. Like 6 of these boxes, like five bills. And in order to make my money back on that, I'm gonna have to send. So I'm sending these 10 cards to PSA in a couple of weeks. So you see there's like a Skeens refractor from Bowman. There's a Ellie refractor from Bowman. The 2 Yoshinobu Yamamotos, which are going to be for my PC. Jackson Merrill refractor. Jackson Churio refractor. Then there's 2 Wyatt Langfords, one numbered 2, which is a pretty sick one.
Nice.
And then, yeah, the 2 Paul Skeens, the refractor and the silver, the X-fractor. So in order to make money back or to actually break even on this, I'm going to have to get a couple of 10s in this pile and sell them to do so. Otherwise, I'm going to be adding 2 Yamamotos to my collection from that.
Nice, yeah. And for me, I just, like you said, I do it for the kind of fun of it, the thrill of it. I want to get any Detroit Red Wings players or anything. So it's just a fun thrill and a good old fashioned. It's just like, I think it started for me probably with Pokemon as a young kid, right? And hockey cards, like hockey cards in the 90s and Pokemon at the end of 90s really accelerated everything, right? But as a young kid, always collecting hockey cards, and now I know when you were here, I showed you all those 1979 hockey packs I'm collecting for
those are
stuff we're going to do in the future. But for me, it's just like, yeah, it's a thrill of it, and it's chasing teams. That's kind of why, you know, I'm really excited about what we're going to be doing here at Bushleague Sports in the future, because a lot of the big breakers and stuff now, it's expensive to get in on it, and you're paying for like a chance to get 1 card when you're pulling 10 cards. We're going to be doing cheap breaks, pulling, you know, opening hundreds and hundreds of cards and doing it in 2 different ways, whether it be through drafts, which is going to be super fun. You can participate, basically enter in a draft. You're going to get a pack or 2 at the start of the draft, and whoever wins loads up at the end of the year on collectibles, drafts, chases. And then obviously we'll do some team breaks too, where you buy in your favorite team. So like you say, something like those boxes that are $600, I mean, that's expensive. But if you can get in and chase the Dodgers or chase your favorite team for $60 or $50 or $90, it becomes affordable, and you omit the, okay, you spend $80, buy 1 box, and maybe you don't get your team. Whereas you spend $80 and opening 5 or 6, and you're actually going to get a couple cards from your team. So it's a fun, different way to, I guess, enjoy the hobby, right?
So
that is such a good point. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna finish your point because I have a question.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say that's a really good point. Like that Yamamoto I was talking about that I sent to PSA. I got that off of a break, and I got super lucky because the break that I purchased was for the Dodgers on this 8-box break from a breaker in Louisiana, and I actually got sniped on another 8-box break from the same seller. I got sniped in the auction maybe an hour before, and I lost that auction, the first auction, and then I won the second auction. But I watched both, and if I would have won that first one, the Dodgers got absolutely skunked on that break. So it was faith for me to win that second one.
Nice.
But it was, like for it being a $725 card, it was $600 break cost, and it's like that was like the one of the year that I was doing. I wasn't doing any other ones after because they are that expensive. So definitely something to keep in mind. And I got super lucky. So just because you're joining one of these big breaks that cost a lot of money does not mean you're going to come away with anything of value. So definitely people have to understand, like, you are gambling. That's why I said buying your card is the best. Sorry.
100%. Like, just like I got into the V-Friends Series 1 break, and for anyone that knows V-Friends, they're very sought after, very expensive, especially Series 1. There's only 10,000 cards. And so the break was $700 or $800. And I'm lucky Gary signed it for me. He usually doesn't sign any of the Series 1s because there is autographed ones in it. But he signed it for me, and it matches the little signatures on there. We had a little banter back and forth during the show, and pretty cool of him to do it. But same thing. So the card right before me, I was the 8th out of 10. The 7th card right before me was a one of one, like one of the top, like access, so probably a $10,000 card, right? Where this is like a $700 or $800 card, which is still cool, right? But literally one spot off on the break of having one of the rarest, most sought after cards in the whole ecosystem. And so that was kind of fun too, because it's down and we kind of know there's something cool at the back there, and I'm still in the race, and literally think it like went off my thing by one, and I'd lost it. But again, on Whatnot, check out V-Friends and their streams. It's pretty sweet. We'll be ripping a lot of V-Friends packs in the future. And I know we planned to do a short show, but we ended up going a little long in the end with the pack rips. But no, I appreciate you, John, for tuning in with us today and hanging out. It was super fun, and I'll make sure me and you connect after. I'll get everything sent to you. And I think there's 2 Colorado Rockies cards. So Trav, for Hula, thank you for tuning in. I'll ship that. Oh, you got another one?
And Jordan Beck rookie debut. So I'm going to top load this, and I'll get it sent to you so you can get to your buddy.
Nice. I love it. No, that's awesome. But appreciate you coming, John. Again, good seeing you the other day, and I love you coming all geared out in the LA Dodgers gear.
Absolutely. Love you too, man. And it's always good seeing you. Always good checking what you're doing. Really excited to be doing more with you guys and doing these drafts and stuff once you get it all rolling. So super excited to see what you're creating. Always happy to join in and answer any questions or even have some baseball talk. We'll
definitely have to bring you back on for baseball, because I'm not the most dialed in baseball. I like doing baseball drafts, and so I'm just, again, interested in the chase. So I think we might have to bring you back. I'll pull the best card in the league and won't even know who it is.
Yeah, that's why I had to be like telling you, Dela Cruz, you'll put that in a top sleeve, please.
Yeah,
top loader. Sorry.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's all good. We'll get you educated on the baseball.
Awesome. Well, no, thank you, John. I appreciate you coming, and I'll touch base with you in a little bit after the show.
Thanks, you guys.
Nice meeting you, brother.
Thanks for having me.
Take care, bro. Awesome. Well, that was sick. That was awesome for John to come tune in, hang out with us for a little bit, and ripped, like I say, probably a couple $100 worth of cards, and nothing too wild, but we got it numbered. We got a first Bowman debut. It was a good little rip. But thanks again to my buddy John for putting up those boxes for us today and having a fun rip. Again, anybody who comments before the show wraps up, we might send you some cards. You tell us your favorite MLB team. Otherwise, Trapper Hula is the only one taking some home with the Colorado Rockies.
I'll tell you what, man. John's an awesome dude. Got a lot of baseball knowledge, a lot of card ripping knowledge. He's going to have to be a mainstay on Bushleague Sports moving forward when we dive in a little bit more on baseball, because kid's a legend, man. Awesome to meet him.
Love it. Awesome. Well, Trav, as always, thank you for joining. Thank you for yapping aimlessly with me for a little over an hour. And just as always, bringing the Bush League takes to the good old people of whatever you're tuning in on, whether it's YouTube, Instagram, or Twitter. We appreciate you coming and hanging out with us on your Sunday nights. And again, not who I wanted to see, but Chiefs, Eagles, head to Super Bowl 59. We're going to have a good old pack rip happening on Super Bowl Sunday night. Get into that through the Discord.
Whoa. So we used to bet every week we would bet based on who had the better record that week. If you had the better record, if I had the better record, I think the loser would do 50 push-ups, or was it 25? Was it 50 or 20?
It was 50.
It was 50 push-ups. I feel like we got to get a Super Bowl bet going on, since you took the refs and I took Saquon.
Yeah, I mean, we were going to get the Bam Bam segment going properly in the future. So absolutely, I love it. We got to get her back rolling. We got to do some justice. We're here, promoting fitness and then doing none on the show, just being absolute losers. So I agree. We should do the bet. If the Chiefs win, thanks to the refs, 50 on you, buddy.
I'm in. And if the Eagles win, thanks to Saquon, 50 to you.
I love it. I appreciate it. And no, as always, I love doing this. I love getting some yaps in with you. We're building out the Bush League website. We're going to be integrating all kinds of cool stuff in the future. Web3 communities. Stay tuned. There might be a whole bunch of free access for you guys coming. And everyone else who tunes in every week, thank you guys. I appreciate you Bush Leaguers so much.
Yeah, dude, it was an absolute blast. And I can't wait to see you again next week, man.
Thanks, man. Peace. Well, everybody, for me and Trav, we'll catch you next week. Stay Bush League, you beauties.
From the bottom, ain't no half-stepping. I'm the dog, I made it through so they don't ask questions. Long Beach, and it ain't no half-repping. Once a dog, always a dog, so they don't ask questions. From the bottom, ain't no half-stepping. I'm the dog, I made it through so they don't ask questions. Long Beach, and it ain't no half-repping. Once a dog, always a dog, so they don't ask questions. Tell them never question, dog, I'm sitting ghost status. Eating chicken with my gin, smoking on some cabbage. Just to pedal on this
moment where you skate down the street and some shit for brain yells out of his window, "Do a kickflip! Do a kickflip! Do a kickflip!"
And house shoes, they know how the dogs do. Skinny, heavy pockets, the West OG. Came across the globe, say they don't know me. Been applying pressure from 8 to 24 like Kobe. Mr. Hall of Fame used to bend the corners with strollies. Had to lay the blueprint, they rolled out the carpet. Anything I wanna own, I got my own.
Put together like a little fitness promo with the Dr. Bombay turkey song.
Still ain't sold my guns and I still ain't had to use them though.
Well, of course, Good to meet you, man. I know there's a man behind that mask with a special suit, man. I appreciate it. You guys are sick, man. I appreciate I collected all your shit, man. I love you. We don't do it drugs for you. Someone actually lies, though, man.
All right, guys, Joel Mills here with the Bam Bam Boxing Academy. Now, these 14 workouts are specifically made to take you from simple mechanics all the way to a full fighter by the end of the 14 workouts.
This is some straight. Hey.
This is, oh gosh.
I got thin to smoke it.
Once a dog, always a dog, so they don't ask questions. I can't name a thing that I didn't have step. From the streets to movie screens, been getting bags and checks. Hit the solid, you won't hit me with no bad rep. Legendary Crippin' made it happen, and that's on the set. Still rolling on gold things, I'm a boss.
Go get it. What the fuck you waiting on, man? Let's go.
Blaming on my mom from all the crippin' I see. Blaming on my grip, all the hustling.
Yes, sir.
Can you smoke one through that mask, big dog?
He got his own club. It's lit, too. And they was curious. Dr. Bombay, can you sign this one, too? I just showed Dr. Bombay how to write. He been in the jungle. Nigga can write. He can't talk, but motherfucking write. I showed him something. Look at it. Go ahead. Find your spot, Bombay. Remember I told you? Yeah, there you go right there. Yeah, remember that? D R B. Spell it out. Sound it out. Bay. CEO.
That's one hell. That's some good weed. Is that your weed? Is that the Snoop Dogg weed?
That's some shit that we got when we was out here.
Oh, that's our shit. Okay, I like it.
That's Canada's finest, baby. They bring me the best from the CA.
I fucking don't expect any less.
I love it. Once again, scratch that off your bucket list. Come hang out with your favorite dog. How much is that dog in the window? Ask somebody.